Hello and welcome to the Valley. Today I am your host, Janet Michael. It is Tourism Tuesday, Winchester, Frederick County edition. Justin Kern says, "What's?" I know, right? Isn't it great? I'm so excited. I'm done. I'm so ready for fall. I cannot even begin to tell you. And you again have outdone yourself and you will both roll your eyes and still appreciate what I'm about to say.
This still happens.
I know, it still happens.
How long have we been doing this? 10
Nearly
years,
10
Janet,
years, yeah.
And we're still coming to places
that I have never been in, literally my backyard. So last night when my husband said, "So where are you going to record the show with Justin tomorrow?" And I said, "Actually, I'm going to the family drive-in. 10 minutes to get there?" And he gives me this look and he's like, "Maybe 4.5." So Ron, you were 4.5 minutes from my house.
Oh my.
And this was the first time I'd ever even driven on the property.
That makes me sad.
And right?
But I'm happy. I'm
excited to be here. And if it means saving you, I will come to every movie you have every night from now until eternity.
Well,
so
thank
how
you
about
so much for that. We appreciate all of our guests that come to the theater. We know we couldn't do it without them, and that's why we're very appreciative of our community and why we love them so much. I don't just say that with a lightheartedness. I believe in that.
You guys have been here a really long time.
Oh, yes. So the history of the drive-in here in Stevens City, as it's been explained to me, is that the theater was purchased back in the mid-50s. It opened on June the 14th, 1956, and it was a single-screen drive-in until 1989 when they added Screen 2. We show first-run films and we serve quality food in our concession stand, not just popcorn and candy. We do sell full dinner options as well. And we've always been in continuous operation. This drive-in's never closed, not once since it opened.
Not even during COVID, which is outstanding.
We shut down for a 2-month period when the governor and the state was trying to figure things out, and they found that it was safe to be outside. We had to make some modifications to our operations here in order to be COVID compliant. But other than that, we were able to open back up with limitations in the beginning, and then they slowly released, and we were able to go back to full operations by the end of 2020. Now, 2020 was a very unusual year, to say the least, as everyone is well aware, but it was very beneficial to the theater because we were literally the only form of entertainment that was open for business. We had young folks that wanted to know who Humphrey Bogart was. But today we play first-run hits that when they get it in the indoor theater, we play it here. And the good thing about the drive-in is you always get a double feature for your ticket price.
You're getting 2 movies.
I know, and it's an unbelievable value. Of course, we've had to increase that ticket price as the minimum wage goes up and cost of food and cost of other things. Just
cost
like
of the movies. Let's talk about that for a second,
because
of the
movies, yes.
We chatted about that before we started recording. I think there's a huge misconception out there that you just go online and check a box and say, "I want this movie," and they send it to you or they stream it to you. You gotta pay royalties on those films.
Yes,
a lot of money.
Yeah, it's not free by a long shot. That's how the actors get paid. And the actors, Tom Cruise and etc., they don't get out of bed for $1. So they are definitely getting paid well, and the way that they get paid and the way that the studio gets paid for producing the movie is through box office ticket sales. And so that's why it's very important that folks come to the movies so that the movie theaters can stay open. And it's such a better experience to go to a movie theater than watching it on your television. It really, truly is. And at a drive-in, you're not just getting a movie and a bucket of popcorn. You're getting a full-fledged experience. Like in the summer, as long as weather is permittable, we will put giant yard games out, like checkers and Connect 4 games, so that families can play those games while they wait for the sun to go down.
So they come early just to have
we
that time.
We encourage folks to come early.
We always tell people that when they're
some of our younger folks, the newer generation, are so accustomed to the indoor theaters where they just show up like 10 minutes before the movie starts, and they miss out on all the good stuff. But here at the drive-in, it's a different thing. We do character interactions on some movies, not all. Like, for instance, this past summer when we did Jurassic, we had dinosaur figures. And then they can see all of these photos on our Facebook page. Of course, the Easter Bunny comes at Easter time here and hands out Easter eggs to the children. Santa Claus comes after Thanksgiving and he takes wish lists and listens to the children and is there for photo ops with their families and their loved ones. It's just a different experience. We want to give them everything that they don't get from another theater.
I feel like a drive-in is so much more of a family experience than a traditional movie theater.
It's a community
because your
experience.
kids are in the car with you, and if they're talking or they're making noise, they're not necessarily bothering the person sitting in the row behind them. There are a lot of perks.
And we hear that a lot. We hear that from our families that come. They say, my child is rambunctious in the indoor theater, and I can come to the drive-in and I can sit in my car. And my children aren't being disruptive to the folks around them like in the indoor. There's a lot of perks to come into a drive-in movie theater versus the indoor. And I'm not down in the indoors. I enjoy indoor theaters. I go to indoor theaters. I support other businesses in the area because I want them to thrive just as well as the family drive-in. Our whole premise is to make people smile and give them joy. And they can put their worries and their troubles down for a couple of hours and enjoy the drive-in.
And it's been successful.
Yes,
all these
very
years.
successful.
Multiple owners. I do want to take a minute and recognize Jim. I know that
Yes.
he was your boss, I think, when you started
Yes,
here.
Jim.
Justin and I were talking about how he'd done the show with us.
One of our very
first shows together.
Yep.
I have to go back and find
Yep.
that. But it takes a lot to maintain and keep a theater like this running. And he did an outstanding job, particularly through the pandemic.
Yes. Mr. Jim Kopp was the gentleman that hired me, and he treated me like a son. Hands down, best boss I ever had. And when we lost him, it was a true loss. When his children decided that they didn't want to run the business because they didn't know how, mainly because they were hands off.
It was his passion.
And so
It
it was
really
his
was.
passion, and he molded me to have that same passion. Of course, I grew up in Florida. I was born and raised in Orlando, and my parents and grandparents worked at Disney World, so I have the Disney mentality of entertaining and giving people joy. And when I moved up here in '92, so basically I'm a Virginian.
You are now.
I
Long
only
enough,
lived
long
in-
enough,
I was
long
only
enough.
in Florida for 16 of my years, and I'm 49 now, so definitely been here longer. And just by circumstance, I saw an advertisement in the newspaper for part-time seasonal staff at the Family Drive-In Theater, which I had visited before. I'd come and watched movies when Mr. Dalk was running the theater and enjoyed it. I actually went to a drive-in in Florida when I was young, very young. I was eight or 9 years old. I do remember it. But the drive-in did shortly succumb to progress, and it closed in Florida, and that was very sad for the community. They lost something that they can't get back, and I don't want that to happen here. I want this to stay so that future generations know what the drive-in is like, and that there is more to the movie than just the seat and the popcorn. It can be very fun. And we try our best to make it an exciting adventure for folks to come out and see.
Let's take a break.
Yeah.
When we come back, let's talk a little bit about the future,
Sure.
as well as what's going on now. You were joking with us earlier that many times people come in and think that you're the new owner of the theater and you're the general manager here.
Yes.
So let's talk a little bit about how it all works and what's going on.
Yes, absolutely.
We are sitting today at Family Drive-In for Tourism Tuesday, Winchester, Frederick County edition. Justin Kearns is here. Renee is here, but you're never going to hear Renee. She's done her one show this year. You will not hear from her again until next July or August.
Moral support.
Ron Graham is joining us. He is the general manager here at Family Drive-In. We're going to come back and talk more with him in just a couple of minutes. Hello, nonprofits. Have a project that's been sitting on the back burner? United Way NSV's Day of Caring returns on September 19th, and your nonprofit can be a part of it. This is the region's largest single-day volunteer event with over 900 volunteers ready to help. Whether it's painting, landscaping, organizing, or repairs, Day of Caring gives your organization hands-on support and saves thousands in maintenance costs. It's simple. Submit your project, let United Way match you with a team, focus more of your budget on what matters most, your mission. Learn more at unitedwaynsv.org/Day of Caring or reach out to dayofcaring@unitedwaynsv.org. Let us send helping hands your way. Welcome back to the Valley. Today I am your host, Janet Michael. It is Tourism Tuesday, Winchester, Frederick County edition. Frederick County is where we are. Today we're sitting at the Family Drive-In. Justin Kearns is here with me. Ron Graham, their general manager, is here as well. Justin, we were talking about this during the break. There are precious few drive-ins in Virginia, but across the country overall. This is something that we're losing a piece of history if they don't continue.
It works on a couple levels. It's a unique asset, obviously a very unique asset, like only 4-ish or so in the state. There's very few nationwide, and they're not popping these things up left and right. There's a couple here and there. Somebody's reimagining something here and there, but basically once they're gone, they're gone.
They become housing developments, which is just
or
gross.
A business or something. It becomes something else, and that is what it is. But it's such a rare thing that we have here in our backyard, and it's a piece of history. It's 70 years old next year, and we're gonna get to that. It's gonna be we're gonna have a 70th anniversary next year. But it's that nostalgia. You can't create it now. Once it's gone, it's gone. But there's that component, the tourism component, but there's also the community component that we were just touching on a little bit. This is a place where people come where they came with their kids. I've come with my kids, and we come when they get a little bit older. And you come here and you see your friends here, and you can hang out. You get here, like you were saying, we try to tell people, get here like 2 hours early when they're coming. We have travel riders or whatever. Your movie starts at 8 or so, get here at 6. Have dinner. They've got a whole concession stand, the whole thing. Don't come screaming in 5 minutes before the movie starts. This is not the Alamo.
You also get a better parking spot the earlier you come, I would imagine.
Right, better parking spot.
Exactly. Like yard out there, you've got the play area. Our kids meet other kids out there in the play area. It's such a relaxed thing. You just open your hatch and you just sit there and you talk to people and you meet people from out of state that drove here, or you see your neighbor that you haven't seen in a while. Like, it's just this coming together. It's this social mechanism that we don't have at a closed indoor movie theater. You don't start talking usually to the people that are sitting next to you because then you're that weird guy. But here it's okay. You're expected to talk to people and meet people. So it's a rare thing. It operates on a couple levels here. So we really would love to do anything to keep this. Right.
Absolutely.
So Ron, let's talk about that for a second. It is still owned by the original family that opened it when it was named Doc's Family Drive-In.
Correct.
We all know it here locally as the Family Drive-In. That's what we've all been calling it for years. They own the land and they own the theater business. Well, Jim, for example, was the general manager like you are. Explain how that all works.
No. So when it originally opened in the 50s, it was called the Doc Family Drive-In. And the Doc family got to a point around 2009, 2010, where they wanted to spend more quality time with their family. Because running a theater is a full-time commitment. It's not just come in 5 minutes, turn the lights on, and then start the movie. I wished, but no, it's not quite that easy. And so he was looking for someone to lease the business to that would keep it running.
Okay.
And so there's where Jim Kopp came in. Actually, he had inquired about the theater multiple times because Jim had purchased a drive-in down in North Carolina and brought it back to life. And it's still in operation to this day. He actually bought it off of eBay.
Remember that we had that story.
We had that story,
yes.
I'm going to find that episode and put it in the show notes.
And he brought it back to life. Then he sold it to a fellow enthused drive-in worker who was his second in command. And he runs it to this day. I actually went and visited. It's a very nice drive-in. It's single screen, very small compared to family, but a nice drive-in. And then he moved to Virginia and took over the Family Drive-In.
The lease of the business.
The lease of the business, correct.
Because I think that's a lot of confusion out there. People don't understand the difference between the business and the land that it sits on.
Yes,
and
it's not. It's two separate entities. They're not together. But we hope that we can make that happen to where the business will be.
So let's talk about that. So we're sitting here recording a week before people are listening on the radio.
Right.
There's been a lot on social media. I don't know, there's probably been something in the Winchester Star, maybe the Northern Virginia Daily, about the potential that the theater could disappear. What is the current situation and what is the hope for the future?
My boss, Andrew Thomas, who purchased the business part from Jim's family when he unfortunately succumbed to COVID and passed away, his children didn't know how to run the business, so they sold the business to Andrew Thomas, who is from Texas, but very supportive of the theater industry and has been here running the financial part of the business And I was hired by him to be the general manager and take care of all of the stuff right here in Virginia, because he's 2,000 miles away. He can't be here daily.
And you've been doing it.
And I've
anyway.
been doing it. I was running with Jim. I was Jim's right-hand man, if you will. And so when the kids were asked by Andrew who could run the theater and not have any worries about it succeeding, they said, let
you were
Ron
the smartest
do it.
choice.
Let Ron do it, because Ron's been here 14 years. He can run the theater, and he'll do it with success because he loves this place. And here I am. This is not my only job. I just do this to keep the theater from going under.
Because it is your passion, much like
Absolutely.
it was Jim's.
Absolutely. And Jim was very good to me and my family, and my loyalty to him and to the theater have been steadfast. Never did I even hesitate for the opportunity to run the theater and keep it going, because I want the future generations to know what it's like.
And we're now at a point where the Dock family has just decided we're tired. It's time to just let this go.
Yes.
So I would assume then the goal would be to be able to purchase the land that the
Yes.
business sits on
Yes.
and continue moving forward.
Yes, and that's why my boss is working very diligently to build a platform for donations. We are in need of the community support. We are a small business. We are not a corporation like some of the big chain theaters. Therefore, we can't do it on our own. And so we reach out to our community, and we've done this in the past. Mr. Jim even did this in the past with the digital equipment upgrade. We didn't have a choice, because there's no way that a theater can build that into their business model, as I've seen several comments about that. But honestly, there's just no way. There are so many variables in the drive-in industry, because we're outside for one. You can't say 1 year to the next that your overall funds are going to be the same. They're not, because if it's a
You're
rainy season,
weather dependent, you're movie dependent. If the movies suck that come out, then you're stuck with that. Then you were telling us earlier there's the homing pigeon that flew into the pole that then caused a power surge.
We had a power surge last year, and it was over $12,000 to repair, and that was a cost that my boss took upon himself to get fixed so that we could get back up and running. And then with the community's help, we raised funds to have the screen number 1 replaced, because it did need it. It was old and it did need help. And so with that, with the combination of our community's support and my boss, Andrew Thomas, because we didn't raise all of the funds. We didn't even come close.
And that's still a one-time thing.
So,
There's still going to be ongoing maintenance. There are things that, as the owner, he's going to have to budget and pay for and that sort of thing.
And it's a 70-year-old building.
A 70-year-old building, and it has its challenges. So we know that.
But you got to get there first.
Yes.
That's where you are
so
now.
That's
You got to
where
get
we are
there.
now. And the plan is to have it in place this coming week.
As people are listening, it could be up now, could be tonight, could be tomorrow, but in this 48-hour time frame, there will be something available that is actually put together by the theater itself, because that's also very important to point out.
Yes, there are a lot of, I've seen on, and I'm sure you guys have seen online, people are putting out there, and they're putting our imagery and our name on it, and saying that we are doing fundraising efforts. We are currently not, but when this airs, we definitely will be up and running, according to my boss. Just in time for our annual Dusk Till Dawn movie marathon. We do this every Labor Day weekend. We highlight the season's best films. It's a slightly increase on the ticket price, but nowhere are you going to get 5 movies on one screen for an incredible price, but right here at your family drive-in theater. We will be playing 5 movies on each of our 2 screens. Concession stand will remain open until around 3 a.m. each of those nights.
That's a lot
on
of popcorn.
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And we'll be serving full meals for at least half of that time frame. And then we'll just do candy, ice cream, popcorn, and drinks for the remaining portion of our concession being open. We've done this every year except for 2020. We just did a triple feature during 2020, but again, that was because of the circumstances. But other than that, ever since I've been at the theater for 14 years, we have run the Dusk Till Dawn, and it's a very unique experience to come out and see all of the movies that you may have missed. You may have missed a movie during the summer, and I really wished I could have caught that movie, Jurassic World, or I could have watched Minecraft, but I just missed it. Now it's not even playing in the movie theater. And now, with the Dust of Dawn, we give you the opportunity to come out and enjoy that film on the big screen as it's intended to be seen. So we will have our platform up, and it will be attached to our social media and or website, if not both. We are diligently trying to get something together and get it up because we desperately want to save this theater. We don't want it to be another circumstance. It just falls to supposed progress.
That we all here in the community have to then say, we used to have.
Yeah.
Or that's where that used to be, and I took my kids. You don't want to ever have that be part of our community conversation.
And I just wanted to tell the community now, we love you. We love the outpouring of support that you've thrown our way, and you've showed us that you really want to keep this theater alive. I can't tell you how many musicians and artists and craft people have reached out to me, and they want to help in any way, shape, or form that they can. They want to make this stay, no matter what. And we are diligently going to make this happen. With your support and all of the other community folks that have reached out to us with their support, I know we can make this happen. We've been through challenges in the past, and we've overcome those challenges. Now, this challenge is a little bit larger than all of the other challenges.
Has a few more commas.
But I know that we can overcome this, and I have no doubt that it can be done. And I lean totally on my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for support for this. And I know that He won't let me down.
It seems like such a large number that I think sometimes people from the outside looking in think there's just no way. But Renee, who isn't speaking today and refused to put on the mic, made a comment, and I don't remember if it was on your Facebook or if it was on something on her personal page, about if everybody who likes or follows your Facebook page would give $10, that's nearly $1 million in and of itself.
Yes.
So individually, we could all just throw $10 in a hat and would get you to nearly where you need to be.
Yes.
And don't let that number keep you from thinking they can help.
Right.
And also be cognizant of where it is they're donating to, because while people could have started those fundraisers with the greatest of intentions, and potentially you will see that money, if it's not coming from you, then people should at least do a little bit more research.
Be leery.
Right.
Because we don't want anybody to be bamboozled or tricked.
Right.
And there are folks that do seize moments that they take advantage of a crisis and they use it to their advantage. And it's so sad that that has to happen, but we know that it is a thing. And I'm telling you right now, as a representative of the Family Drive-In Theater, that the week in which this will air, we will have a platform up, and it will be attached to our business, social media, and our website, so that you can contribute to help save the drive-in. And we are in the works of other ways of raising
You're
funds.
going to have fundraisers. You're going to do all sorts of other things. And in the meantime, come to the movies. When are you open? Because school's back now, so you're not all week long anymore.
So when the schools went back, we are back to our Friday, Saturday, Sunday operations. That's primarily what we operate. Usually it's the middle of March, all the way up until school lets out. This year was earlier than years previous. They actually were released from school Memorial Day weekend. And so we started our 7-day schedule, and we were open every night, Monday through Sunday. And that remained all the way through until the kids went back to school. And now that the kids are back in school, we've come back to our weekend schedule only, and we will remain with that all the way through the month of November, possibly even the beginning of December.
Depending on the weather.
And it all depends on the weather. And I can say that in the past 14 years that I've worked here, we really haven't had bad weather, like a snowstorm or anything of that nature in that time frame. Now, come January, yes. So that's why we're not open. But at the beginning of December, we close for 90 short nights. And then we open back up. And please, don't think because it gets a little chilly outside that, oh no, they're not open. Yeah, we're open. You can always bring your cozy blanket, and it gives you a good excuse.
Better. Yeah. We like it better that way.
And it gives
they actually make electric blankets that you can plug into your cigarette lighter of your car. Of course, they don't have cigarette lighters anymore, but they have chargers.
12 volt.
They call it 12 volt chargers. Yeah, and it also gives you a very good excuse to get a little closer to your loved ones and
true.
snuggle. We want you to come out, we want you to enjoy this, and we want you to have the experience. And we are going to do everything in our power with your help and with all of the folks that have reached out to me that have talents, that are willing to give their time and efforts to this, to save this piece of Americana.
Right here in our backyard.
And it's about time that we stop saying goodbye to the past and we keep some of the past so that future generations can see it and experience it. And that's my former boss Jim's goal. It's my current boss's Andrew's dream, is to keep it going for future generations. Because he has children. I have children. You have children. Justin has children.
Yep.
We all have children that may have never been to a drive-in. And why not come to the family drive-in theater and experience it?
We don't have to go anywhere. It's right here.
That's right here.
It's right
It's
here.
right in your
Don't have to go
backyard.
3 states over.
Right in your backyard.
What is the web address that people can go and find any details?
Our web address to the theater is www.thefamilydi.com.
And then Family Drive-In is how they can search and find you
Yes,
on Facebook.
Facebook and Instagram is the Family Drive-In.
Thank you for taking
Yes,
some time.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. Thank you, Justin, for inviting me.
Of course.
We love the support from the community. And it's the word of mouth that gets the word out so that folks know.
We
And
thought it was important.
it was
There's
perfect timing.
Anywhere with
And you're
social
probably
media,
going to
anything,
share,
it's hard.
once that platform is announced and it's public, they can
Right.
probably find it on your social media. I'll
Right.
share it for the Valley today. So look for that stuff because it's going to take all of us.
Yeah, and
Yes.
just make sure it goes back.
And definitely when you see the post on our social media and our website, share it.
Share it.
Share it and share it and share it again and then share it even another time. And if you think that you didn't share it enough, go ahead and share
Yep.
it some more.
Yep.
That way it goes out worldwide.
I will be back tomorrow with a brand new episode of The Valley today, a few minutes after noon, so meet me here then.